Bitcoin continues to defy gravity here, pushing above our rising broadening wedge pattern. And the crazy part is that when you look at the textbook, Bitcoin has had so much demand that we've exceeded both of these possibilities. The bears are crying. The people on the sidelines are shaking their heads because Bitcoin is just not stopping. This is pretty epic to see. In yesterday's video, we talked about the target of 52,000 from the largest falling wedge in Bitcoin history. And this is a textbook setup, guys, right? So this is not my opinion. I just went with the textbook. And it says measure the width of the falling wedge, place it on the breakout. That gives us 52,000 as a target. So I want to talk about that in today's video, and also another target that you may be familiar with, which is the 618 golden retrace from high to low. All of this and more in today's video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's December 5th. My name is Kevin Svenson, and we're gonna be talking about the price of Bitcoin. This is the daily chart. Bitcoin has exceeded the resistance of our rising broadening wedge pattern. According to the textbook, during a rising broadening wedge that is going to see continuation, we get some sort of consolidation below the resistance before we break out. But Bitcoin has had so much demand that we've even exceeded this diagram. And it's pretty clear, pretty obvious that Bitcoin is going to have to hold that resistance right there because we have had these resistance points making up our rising broadening wedge. And now that last resistance was from yesterday at 42,500 roughly. And so Bitcoin is going to need to maintain that previous resistance point if we are going to see continuation. The point that we see a pullback would be if Bitcoin comes back to this resistance and we can't hold it. This could put in a lower high and a retest of our previous resistance from this point right here, which would not be all too bad at the end of the day. According to the diagram, if we do reject this zone, E would be coming in right now because it would end up being a false breakout in this scenario. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying that's what it would be. And then this would be point F before consolidation in a breakout. So if we do see a rejection from this point, just to mention this scenario, it wouldn't mean that the run is over. It would actually be the final phase of the ascending broadening wedge continuation pattern, the final dip, retest as support, just like here, where we go from E to F and then bounce up and flip E into new support right here, which would be probably at the end of December or around Christmas, actually, the way that I've drawn it. And then we could end up seeing some continuation from this point. So even if we did pull back to 38,000, we would still be within the conditions for continuation. This would just provide some extra volatility, a buy the dip opportunity. And this may actually also allow altcoins to see some extra play if we got a consolidation in this fashion. And this would be fantastic, beautiful continuation uptrend. I wouldn't be bothered by it, but I just want to mention this in the event that it happens, because a lot of times when Bitcoin's running up like this, people aren't expecting dips. This is what you need to know in the event of a dip. So there's only two scenarios that I'm going to discuss in this video. And the first one is this: in the event of a pullback, this is what I expect. The second scenario is that we just keep going up. The demand is so high that we may actually end up running towards this falling wedge breakout target that was mentioned in the last video from yesterday. The extrapolation from the width of the largest falling wedge in Bitcoin history, place it on the breakout zone, 52,000 is the target. Now, another thing people have been talking about is the possibility of the golden retrace or the golden fib extension target. If you move back to 2019 and you take your fibs from the all-time high to the all-time low of that bear market, the 618 was the magical target here. The 618 is now a current area of interest that people are eyeing up for Bitcoin's current run. Now, looking at the current cycle, drawing a fib from the all-time high to the all-time low of this current bear market, we would be getting a target of about 48,500, 48,600 roughly, depending on the exchange you're looking at. And that would be the first target above us if we do continue to keep our momentum, keep pushing up, keep getting demand. It's going to be about 48,500 at the 618 golden fib extension, which is coming in really, really closely to the falling wedge breakout target. So anywhere in between those 2 points seems to be the main area of interest in the event of a super bullish continuation of this trend. So in between 48,500 and 52,000 is the area of interest, at least for me, according to both of these potentials, both of these possibilities. Now, is it possible that Bitcoin is even more bullish than that and that we just don't stop on any of these targets and we just continue to run all the way into next year in the halving? Yeah, that's possible, but that's not something that I'm necessarily going to be pushing on this channel as a likely scenario, right? I mean, those types of predictions usually aren't true, but I guess you never know. Figured I'd just say that. But that is my current area of interest in the event of a very bullish continuation push from the market. And in the event of a pullback in the short term from this point, and we break below 42,500, which is that previous resistance from yesterday, if we can't hold that, I'm looking for a test of 38,000 and sort of following the textbook bullish diagram for an ascending broadening wedge continuation pattern. So I hope I gave you guys enough tools and perspectives for you guys to be able to navigate this current epic Bitcoin trend that we are in. If you enjoyed the video, smash like, subscribe, and also in Patreon, we've made awesome calls, Big Time, which was one of my picks from just 2-3 weeks ago. We got in at 16 cents in Patreon. It's up to 77 cents. 450% or something like that. So some of our low cap picks in Patreon already just exceeding the performance of most other assets. So if you guys are interested in low cap picks, things like this, gaming tokens, all that kind of stuff, click the link below and join Patreon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.